Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Amagyanatimirandasya Gyananjanasalakaya Chakkhurinimile Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Kutam Soyam Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jeno Bhutale Soyam Rupam Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Nirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Sri Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Sagana Litam Sri Vishaka Sri Radha Krishna Sagana Litam Sri Visakam Vitam Cha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषाभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today is very auspicious August, adorable, admirable, idolized day of Vyasa Puja, day of the appearance of spiritual master. So what is Vyasa Puja? So today is actually Vyasa means Vyasati iti Vyasa. Those who compiled the Vedic literature for the benefit of the people and disseminate that knowledge. This is called Vyasa. So the appearance of the spiritual master is also the day of celebration is known as Vyasa Puja. Why? Because spiritual master is the representative of Vyasa Puja. So it is duty of spiritual master to disseminate the knowledge for the benefit of the people. Because people are suffering on account of ignorance. Avidya kama karami. So on account of ignorance, they have been suffering in this material world since time immemorial. And they do not know even due to ignorance. Therefore, the Krishna as a Krishna himself compiled all the literature as Srila Vyasadev, incarnation of Srila Vyasadev. And the Guru who is representative, bona fide Guru, who is representative of Krishna, representative of Vyasadev, he on behalf of the Lord disseminate all this knowledge. Therefore, we celebrate as Vyasa Puja. To pay our homage, to pay our gratitude, because without him, there is no possibility for conditioned soul to get out from this ocean of material science. Therefore, it is said, it is stated in Shastra, Amagyanati Mirandasya Jnana Anjana Salakaya Chakhuruni Miletanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Because we are blinded by the ignorance, and with the torchlight of knowledge, the spiritual master opens our or dissipate our darkness. Therefore, the very meaning Gu means darkness, Ru means dispeller. So Guru means dispeller of darkness. Therefore, we are indebted. We are ever indebted. There is no question of repaying that indebt, because this knowledge given by the Guru is most essential of every achievement. It is stated that out of all the things, out of all kind of achievement, this knowledge, transcendental knowledge given by Guru, or how he dissipate our ignorance by the torchlight of knowledge, that is most valuable. Why? Because it is the highest achievement for the human being. Shreyasam hiya sarvesam jnanam nishreyasam param. So Lord Shiva here spoke that in this material world there are different type of achievement, but all of them achievement of knowledge is considered to be highest, because one can cross the ocean of science only on the boat of knowledge, otherwise ocean is impassable. Therefore the status of guru, the position of the guru, even more than the god. Lord Krishna himself say that madhavakta pujyadika ado guru asraya. Ado guru asraya. And Krishna say that guru is non-different from me. In these beautiful verses, Lord himself is saying the position of the guru is so exalted that Krishna say sarva devamaya guru आचार्य माम बीजानीया ना अभिमन्यता करते ना मत्त बुद्धाश्वते सर्वदेव maya guru. One should know the acharya is myself. That is, this statement is very categorically spoken to his dearmost devotee Uddhava. So Krishna says that acharya is non-different from myself, or never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man. He is not an ordinary man. For he is representative of all demigods, a representative of all the demigods. Therefore, the position of the acharya is very higher, very high. Sometimes they goes beyond, on behalf of the Lord, they goes beyond of preaching and enlightening, educating people in spiritual values. Even the person is a not right candidate. That is their activities. Therefore, all the scriptures glorifies spiritual master. Jasya prasada bhagavat prasada. Without pleasing spiritual master, without the help of spiritual master, we cannot get out from this material science. So here Srila Prabhupada, today is appearance day of Srila Prabhupada. So there's a beautiful analogy there, just like Julius Caesar. He, for a political conquest, he came, he saw and he conquered. Similarly, for a spiritual compassion, Prabhupada came from spiritual world. He gave the highest gift of Godhead, highest gift, that is called love of Godhead or Krishna consciousness, to every living entity, irrespective of the caste, creed, everything. And he conquered the heart of millions. So that is his spiritual compassion. Therefore, they are glorified in every page of the scriptures. Therefore, it is stated in Bhagavatam that these kind of souls are very philanthropic. O my Lord, the great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen soul who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. That is called extraordinary compassion, extreme compassion for the fallen soul. So therefore they travel not for their sake, but for the sake of this poor-hearted grahasthas, those who are overwhelmingly absorbed in material achievement, material ameliorating material condition. So therefore it is stated this beautiful verse that O my Lord, O great devotee, person like you move from one place to another, not for their own interest, but for the sake of poor-hearted grihasthas, householder. Otherwise, they have no interest in going from one place to another. They have no interest. Simply for the sake of elevating the conditioned soul to come to the platform of Krishna consciousness, they travel. They undergo so many obstacles also. And Prabhupada practically demonstrated. See, you see that there are obstacles. There's a beautiful verses. You say that all these great soul, they face a lot of obstacles in preaching. So because why? Even in traveling is not a easy thing. Traveling from country to country, place to preach enlightened conditioned soul. It is stated here that it is said that great personality almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. This is considered to the highest method of worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is present in everyone has. Highest method of worshipping the Godhead because they voluntarily suffer. And Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 69, very old as faggot, he went to America in a voyage, cargo ship, undergoing all kind of trials, tribulations, troubles, having 2 heart attacks, so much suffering, practically penniless, alone, without any help. But therefore, they are being very glorified by the Lord as Madha Bhakta Pujyadika. My devotee are better than me, more worshipable than. Because this is the best way of worshipping Supreme Personality of God. And Prabhupada practically demonstrated that. He's like a he's like a Vyasadev, truly the representative of Vyasadev, because Vyasadev compiled all the literature for the benefit of the people. Lokosya Jnata, because people are ignorant. It is said that why Vyasadev compiled? Because people are ignorant. The material misery of the living entity which are superfluous to him can be directly mitigated by linking process of devotional service. But mass people do not know this. Therefore, the learned Vyasadev compiled this Vedic literature which is in relation to the Supreme. They do not know how to terminate this obnoxious material life of repeated birth and death by the only process of devotional service. Therefore, Vyasadev compiled all the things. And Srila Prabhupada is a representative of Vyasadev because he has translated into English. Because most of the people in this modern age are English speaking. And the mercy is not accessible to everyone because nobody knows the Sanskrit. And most of our acarya, they have contributed in vernacular language or Sanskrit language. For people in this age of Kali, more we advance, more we become very much, our memory power is not retentive, deteriorating. And we have so much dull, we cannot understand Sanskrit. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada made this, to take out this nectar and drop in the ocean, in the river. Anybody can take. Made everything as a nectar by translating into English. That is the most major contribution of Srila Prabhupada for the benefit of humanity at large. He translated all the Vedic literature in English so that most of the people can accessible, can be, can access this information, this knowledge, highest achievement. That is stupendous contribution of Srila Prabhupada. And he is like Sukadev Goswami. He not only compiled like Vyasadev, but he disseminated this knowledge. He spoke Bhagavatam, he spoke the spiritual knowledge at length. 10 years, 1965 to 66 to 71, 76, 77, 12 years. He spoke elaborately to everyone who come in contact with him. So therefore, he is like Sukadev Goswami. And he is like Narada Muni. So Narada Muni is the greatest preacher. The more celebrated devotees are there who are the disciple of Narada Muni. Wherever he goes, he glorifies the Supreme Lord, praise them, elevate and live in the condition so. So he is like Narada Muni. He traveled the world 14 times, everywhere. despite his ill health, despite at this advanced age. He traveled everywhere in the world, 14 times at the age of 80, 70 plus. Is incredible, unimaginable. Most of them, they like to be at home playing with their grandson, be there with grandson. But here, a personality who traveled at this age 14 times, not for his personal sake, but for the poor-hearted conditioned soul, to elevate them, to enrich them, to inculcate spiritual values in them, to instill Krishna consciousness in them. He traveled. What a compassion. And he is like Ambarish Maharaj. The Ambarish Maharaj has got so much wealth. During the preaching time, people have come because saintly person is doing so. He gave so much things. He made it by distributing the literature, selling the literatures. He got 108 centers. He turned his 40 rupees, what he brought when he initiated this process, Krishna consciousness, and turned into the 40 millions, 400 millions. But like Ambarish Maharaj is detached, only for the service of the Lord. That is his greatness of Srila Prabhupada. He is like Dhruva Maharaj, so much determined to preach Krishna consciousness. Despite all odds and oppositions, obstacles, impediments, stumbling blocks, he is always determined, now I will preach. And he went to the headquarters of Maya, New York, and preached there, America, which is intellectually, culturally foreign to him. That is his compassion. That is his determination. He wants to take up this preaching Krishna consciousness in a formidable army in their own turf. That is Prabhupada. That is this personality, Srila Prabhupada, Acarya. You are so determined. Like Prahlad Maharaj, he was undergoing so much trial and tribulations, heart attack, all the things, to heart attack and so many others, opposition, so many problems. But he never deterred, discouraged. Like Prahlad Maharaj, despite all the torture and torment, his mission is to preach Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is like imbibe the quality of Prahlad. He is like Prahlad Maharaj of modern age. Despite all the odds and opposition, he boldly preached without compromising the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in order to glorify the Lord and reclaim the conditioned soul. So, the glories of acaryas cannot be described. The compassion of acharya cannot be described. We are all indebted, cannot repay. It is said that one cannot repay. If anybody wants to try to repay the conditions, repay the what is that? Anybody try to repay the compassion, mercy of spiritual master, he is like a joker. In these verses, it is said that Vaishnava acharyas and their servant can render valuable service to humanity by disseminating knowledge of the relationship between Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity. Such knowledge is the perfect benediction for humanity. Now, knowledge of Krishna is such a great gift, it is impossible to repay the benefactor. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj requested the Kumaras to satisfy their own benevolent activity in delivering the soul from the clutches of Maya. A joker activity is simply arouse laughter, and a person who tries to repay the spiritual master or teacher of the transcendental message of Krishna becomes a laughing stock, just like a joker, because it is not possible to repay such a debt. The best friend and benefactor of all people is one who awakens humanity to its original Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we celebrate today the Vyasa Puja, because all the pages of scripture glorify the one personality, because he awakens the humanity to its original consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Unless one becomes Krishna consciousness, all other method will be failure. It is stated in these beautiful verses spoken by Narada Muni that any other process is not going to. Living entity are trying to counteract different miserable conditions pertaining to providence, other living entity, body, mind. Still, they must remain conditioned by the law of nature. Despite all attempt to counter these laws, we cannot counteract the misery of material existence. Therefore, only way to counteract is that only way to counteract it is stated here that one can counteract a dream only by awakening. Similarly, our material existence is due to our ignorance and illusion. Unless we awaken to Krishna consciousness, we cannot be relieved from such dreams. For the ultimate solution of all problems, we must awaken to Krishna consciousness. In no other way. Therefore, a spiritual master is glorified profusely, even by the Lord. Even by the Lord. Lord himself says a statement very startling. He says that to Uddhava in Uddhava Gita that with the dust of my devotee lotus feet I desire to purify the material world, which are situated within me. Thus I always follow the footstep of my pure devotee, who are free from personal desire, wrapped in thought of my pastime, peaceful, without any feeling of enmity, and equal disposition to everywhere. Equal disposition. They are not sectarian. Prabhupada was never sectarian. He went to America because God belongs to everyone. Everyone belongs to God. Therefore, Krishna say, I would like to purify the material world by their dust, because they are the most philanthropic soul who disseminating, propagating this knowledge. Propagating this knowledge. It is stated in further substances this fact in Bhagavatam that, my dear King Yudhishthira, the Brahmanas, especially those engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord throughout the entire world, are recognized, worshipped by Supreme Personality of Godhead, with the heart and soul of all creation. The Brahmana, by their preaching, sanctify the three worlds with the dust of their lotus feet. Thus they are worshipable even for Krishna. Even for Krishna, they were worshipable. Therefore, we are celebrating Vyasa Puja. Very, very important festival for the disciples. Krishna himself, Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna has said that out of everyone, this personality who preach the glory is the highest. Jaidam paramam guhyam mada bhaktesu avadishyati bhakti mai paramakritva mami vasyasya samsayam. Krishna says, for one who explains this supreme secret to the devotee, pure devotional service is guaranteed. At the end, he will come back to me. Here it is said that devotees, Krishna is the resort for the devotees. But the spiritual master, the representative of the Lord, they are more compassionate than the Lord. They goes beyond any restriction and speaks indiscriminately to everyone. Therefore, Krishna is saying in the next verse, the nacha tasman manusyeshu kassan me priyakattamaha bhavita nacha me tasmad anya priyakaro bhuvi. That there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So here Krishna says nobody. Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, this somebody he is very dear devotee, those who have this criteria. And he again say that these are the devotee who are very dear to me. Here it is he is saying that there is no one so dear than that person who preaches this message, the transcendental knowledge, the wisdom, the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to everyone. Therefore, spiritual master is glorified. Everywhere in the scripture, including Krishna himself. Because without, therefore, Prabhupada says that preaching is the essence, Mahamantra is quintessence, purity is force. And he enforced this. Preaching is our essence. Because without, there's a beautiful verses, it is say that without become he says that self-effulgent Vaikuntha planet by whose illumination alone all illuminating plan within the material world give off reflected light cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to other living entity. Only person who constantly engage in welfare activity for other living entity can reach the Vaikuntha planet. The only eligibility criteria, qualification of going back to that, to preach this message. Therefore, on this very auspicious occasion of Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja, we should be determined to follow, because we have to practice then preach. Apani Achari Prabhu Arako Sikhailo. See, first of all, we practice and preach. Prabhupada's main mission to preach this transcendental knowledge. So we should practice ourselves and preach this knowledge to everyone. Then that will actually please Prabhupada. Prabhupada will be highly pleased. Simply we become Krishna consciousness and help others. Vaishnava means Prabhupada say always paro upakar. They always wanted to help others. That is whole idea. Therefore, in the end, in the beautiful verses, it is meant for the actually Supreme Lord in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but it is aptly applicable for Krishna. As per Srila Prabhupada, these verses they are very nice verses. So it is stated that the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated beautifully that how so in these verses it is said that let us submit one piece of information before you. Dear Lord, it is not at all false but full of meaning. It is this: if you are not merciful upon us, then it will be very difficult to find more suitable candidate for your mercy. That means, Srila Prabhupada, if you are not merciful upon us, then it will be very, very difficult to find more suitable candidate for your mercy. On this note, we would like to end this session, the wonderful celebration of Vyasa Puja of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vyasa Puja Mohama Utsav ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.